Good morning, Scout. Welcome aboard for another fun and fact-filled day, discovering new information high and low. Alrighty then. I hope you brought your mosquito spray because you're going where no horse has gone before. The jungle.
Let's roll, Axel.
Say hello to humans' closest relative in the animal kingdom, the chimpanzee.